My name is Lionel, and this is the story that changed my life forever. Although I've always been a skeptic, that night I learned that there are things we can't understand and should never try to face. What happened still haunts my dreams, and sometimes, when I'm alone, I feel as though something or someone is watching me. Since we were kids, Daniel, Alan, and I shared a fascination with the unknown. While others played video games or practiced sports, we immersed ourselves in books about paranormal stories, online forums, and horror movies. When we turned 16, we decided to take our passion to the next level. We created a YouTube channel to document explorations of supposedly haunted places. Our adventures started with abandoned houses and cemeteries, small and mostly harmless locations. We always brought our cameras, audio recorders to capture EVP, electronic voice phenomena, and of course, Max, my German shepherd, who seemed to enjoy these expeditions as much as we did. Up until that night, our experiences had been more fun than terrifying, but the abandoned psychiatric hospital changed everything. It was a gray afternoon, one of those that promise a storm. We gathered at Daniel's house to plan our next adventure. We wanted something more impactful, something that would bring views and comments to our channel. So, we decided to go around the neighborhood to gather information. After knocking on several doors and receiving vague answers, an old man who lived at the end of a street gave us the lead we were looking for. "If you're looking for real fear," he said in a deep, deliberate voice, "go to the abandoned psychiatric hospital. But I warn you, that place is no joke." We exchanged excited glances, completely ignoring the man's warning. According to him, the hospital had been suddenly shut down nearly 20 years ago. No one knew exactly what had happened, but rumors spoke of disappearances, suicides, and inhumane experiments. "They say no one who goes in there comes out the same," he added, looking at us with serious eyes. "But it's up to you." That was all we needed to make up our minds. We thanked the old man and returned to Daniel's house to prepare our equipment. The hospital was an imposing building covered in vines and graffiti. Its broken windows looked like hollow eyes watching us as we approached. The main door was locked with rusty chains, but Alan, ever resourceful, found a broken window on one side. I helped Max climb through first. Then we followed. Once inside, the air was heavy and dense, as if the building were breathing. Every step we took echoed in the silence, and the smell of dampness and decay was almost unbearable. We turned on our cameras and started recording. "Guys, do you feel that?" Daniel asked, breaking the silence. "Feel what?" I replied. "Like someone's watching us." Alan laughed, but I knew Daniel was serious. We decided to split up to cover more ground. Daniel took the west wing, Alan headed to the second floor, and I, along with Max, went down to the basement. The basement was a grim place, full of rusted pipes and old boxes. As I explored, Max started growling at the darkness. His behavior made me nervous, but I tried to stay calm. I turned on the audio recorder and started asking the usual questions. "Is anyone here? What happened to you? Do you want to communicate with us?" The recorder picked up nothing, but Max kept growling. Then I heard a blood-curdling scream from the west wing. It was Daniel. I turned on my radio. "What happened?" I asked, my heart pounding. "Lionel, damn you!" Daniel yelled, panting. "Why did you attack me? What are you talking about? I'm in the basement with Max." The silence that followed was terrifying. Daniel was convinced he had seen my figure running toward him with wild eyes, screaming. He decided to leave the building and wait outside. I tried to calm myself, thinking maybe the atmosphere of the place was playing tricks on our minds. I decided to meet Alan on the second floor. When I arrived, he told me he had found a room covered in blood that would be perfect for recording. His excitement made me ignore the growing sense of unease. The room reeked of something indescribable. There were dark stains on the walls and floor, and an old rusted gurney stood in the center. Alan suggested I wait while he searched for something in a small storage room inside the room. While I waited, Max started whining. Suddenly my radio crackled. It was Daniel. "Lionel, man, get out of there." "Why?" "I'm with Alan," I replied, confused. "Look out the window." I walked to the window, and what I saw froze me in place. Daniel and Alan were outside the building, frantically gesturing for me to leave. The small storage room door began to open slowly. Max barked furiously as I tried to make sense of what was happening. The figure that emerged from the storage room was identical to Alan, but its eyes were dark pits, and its smile was unnatural. I didn't think. I grabbed Max and ran toward the door. The thing followed me, emitting a guttural sound that still haunts my nightmares. I reached the window we had entered through, pushed Max out first, and then jumped out myself. Daniel and Alan hugged me when they saw me, but I was too terrified to speak. We left the hospital as the first light of dawn began to illuminate the sky. We never talked about what happened, but we all knew something had followed us that night. Since then, every time I'm alone, I feel as though something is watching me from the shadows. That was our last expedition. Some doors should never be opened, and some mysteries are better left unsolved. What did you think of this horror story? I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to leave a comment, like, or share the video. This way, you help us keep growing.